Oh, that didn't work at all. All right, give me a second to fix my camera. There we go. How's it going, everybody? Welcome in. Let me turn down the other music here. All right, turn that one down, turn that one up. There we go. So hopefully... All right, so now you can all hear me and I don't get blasted with all the music. How's it going? Welcome, everybody. Yeah, 4x3, yeah. Yeah, it was just kind of what I ended up sort of setting up when I was rebuilding all the OBS stuff. Let's do a different background though. Where's my background changer? There we go. Get a different background in there. Welcome, everybody. It's been a minute. Feels like it's been a minute since I streamed. It's been several minutes, probably a couple of weeks worth of minutes. But yeah, welcome in. There's been a lot going on in life and work and Twitch and everything else. So for everybody watching, I would like you to do everybody in the world a favor. On Twitch, open this in a different tab, but click on your profile up here in the top right corner if you're on a desktop. If you're not on desktop and you're on mobile, you need to get to desktop and do this on your desktop. What you want to do is you want to click on your profile picture here in the top corner and open the settings in another tab. If you open it right now, it'll change from watching me and you won't know what to do. You can right click on it if you have a mouse and you can say open in a new tab. And as RC Maniac has put in chat, what you want to do is you want to go over to security and privacy and you want to scroll all the way to the bottom and you want to turn this off. Twitch has decided in their infinite wisdom that everything that happens on Twitch is going to get fed into Amazon's generative AI algorithms. So please go turn this off. This is a horrible thing that they've inflicted on everybody, whether we want it or not. Now, I use a lot of AI. I will be open about that. I've been open about that. I use a lot of AI, but I do it with my own data. I don't do it with other people's data. And I don't agree with them automatically opting everybody in on this. And honestly, this was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, proverbially speaking. So I'm done with Twitch. So Lopta, there are good things about AI, but there's a lot of bad things that are happening because of AI. And when companies pull crap like this, I'm done. So this is my second last stream on Twitch. I'm going to move everything to YouTube. Now, does Google use YouTube for generative AI? Probably. They don't explicitly say yes or no. They probably are. And certainly other people are grabbing YouTube, but and doing things with YouTube videos and so on. And it's not that moving over there is going to suddenly make everything better, but I really don't agree with a lot of things that are going on with Twitch. And yeah, I'm kind of done with the platform, to be honest. So this is kind of a long story, but those that know me and know my background, I was in software development teaching for a number of years, and I really enjoyed teaching. Had a really, really good time teaching. I left that job, got back into just regular sort of technology work, and had a blast, but I missed teaching. And so within less than a month of leaving that job, I started live streaming. In fact, even while I was getting ready to leave that job, I was already thinking about, like, how do I set up a stream? There was someone that was kind of partner slash friend to the school where I taught, who was doing a lot of live streaming at the time. His name is Jonan. I don't think he's streamed anything in several years now, but he got me set up, helped me set up the microphone, helped me get going with OBS and the whole bit. And through the inspiration that I saw on his channel, I got into streaming and had a good time with it. And then I did that for about 2 years. And the primary focus of my stream was help people get jobs. That was the primary purpose for what I wanted to do. And then that, you know, because of COVID and everything else, I was also doing lots of 3D printing. And so that turned into like, you know, career help plus 3D printing plus, you know, and then that led into like airbrushing. And suddenly I'm like overwhelmed with things. And then I took a break from streaming for 2 years. And what's up, Reprinter? Good to see you. How's it? Good to see you. So yeah, there's just been a lot of things going on. It's all right. You can call me Chris. You can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner. So I took a 2-year break and I got back into streaming. This is our 15th stream now of 2026. And I've had a lot of fun getting back into it, even though it was a bit of a chore getting OBS set back up, getting all the Streamer.bot stuff set back up. I've had a lot of fun, and I've had a lot of fun building out the stream games and things like that. But the reality of it is that there's just not enough audience on Twitch specifically to do live streaming about career topics. The audience just isn't here. Folks are here for games and 3D printing and, you know, other maker related things. People aren't coming to Twitch to listen to me, you know, do resume reviews. Now, there are people that do resume reviews and other career help and stuff like that here on Twitch, and they're relatively successful, but they're also doing it during the day. I can't really stream during the day, and there's just not the audience at night. So, but there is audience on YouTube. And what I'm noticing is there's a lot of people going back and watching my YouTube videos, specifically around the career topics and things like that. So I'm looking at the analytics and looking at the views and everything that's going on over there. And so I've made the decision to just move over to YouTube, and I'm going to primarily stream on YouTube. All the OBS stuff is going to be exactly the same. Streamer.bot's exactly the same, but I'm probably not going to be streaming on Twitch. You probably won't see me streaming on Twitch. I may occasionally, like if I come up with like a really cool game idea or something like that, I'll probably come back to Twitch and do like a little stream on Twitch or something to get people to help. So I'm not stopping any of the Streamer.bot stuff that I do, but I've also been neglecting a little bit of what I've been building in Streamer.bot. I've been neglecting other platforms. But I have no interest in streaming on Kick. I've got no interest in streaming on, what's the other one? It starts with a T. Trovo or whatever the other one is. So anyway, so I'm still going to be on Twitch. I'm still going to be hanging out on other people's streams, but I'm just not going to stream on Twitch. They're just, and it's not that, oh, you know, the audience isn't here, I'm not making money doing it. I've never cared about making money on Twitch. If you know me and know my background and know what I used to do on Twitch, you know, Reprinted can attest to this, Caretaker can attest to this, RC Maniac can attest to this. Like, I would give away like every penny that I made. Any gift subs, any bits, anything that I gained, I was always giving back to charities. And I was constantly raising money for charities because I've never done streaming to make a living. I've got a job in tech. I'm very happy with that. It pays very, very well. Maybe when I retire in another decade, maybe I'll stream full time and that can be like supplemental income, but I've never done this to make money. And so when I say there's no audience for it, it's mostly like I go through a lot of prep and a lot of, you know, sort of reading, and I go back and look at my own material and stuff like that, just in case somebody comes in and asks a question about interview prep. And we've had a couple of streams, you know, since I've been back. You know, like I said, this is our 15th stream. We've had a handful of people come in and start to have very good conversation around tech and AI and interviewing and the job market and all that kind of stuff. But there's just not that much need for it, or perceived need for it. And I don't want to be on Twitch just for the heck of it. Because again, I'm not doing this to make money, but it's a chunk of my time. It's a chunk of my day. I'm on the border of sneezing. Of course, as soon as I say that, I don't have to sneeze. There just aren't enough people on Twitch anymore that are looking for that kind of help. But there is that audience on YouTube. So, like I said, it's not that I'm never going to be around on Twitch, but I'm not going to be regularly streaming on Twitch. Thank you, Lapta. Appreciate that. The preemptive bless you. All right, that's great. That I will miss about Twitch and stuff like that. But yeah, there's just not enough audience for it. You know, I keep putting social media posts out there, and folks like RC Maniac and Reprint are amazing at like reposting things when I say like, hey, I'm doing resume reviews. If you got a resume, come submit it. I think I've done, what have we done? Like 4 resume reviews since June. And I was hoping for like 3 or 4 a night, you know, every time I streamed on a Sunday kind of thing. And there's just no one's looking for a resume review right now. Now that said, internship season is among us, is upon us rather. And over the next month or 2, there's going to be like an influx of people looking for jobs. But again, they're not really hanging out on Twitch. They're not looking for a stream like this. They're looking for, you know, career coaching and stuff like that in other places. And I'm getting booked up the wazoo for my mock interviews and stuff like that, which is great. But doing these streams on a Sunday night and a Thursday night also eats into that mock interview time, because normally I do my mock interviews in the evenings. So I've been trying to figure out how I want to balance this, because I still want to help people. Like, that's my whole motivation for being here and setting all this stuff up and wanting to help people out, is I want to help people get through these things. I want to share my experience of, this is what it takes to get through a tech interview. This is how you need to talk about things. I had a really amazing conversation for over an hour with another streamer here on Twitch who was going for a job interview, and I'm not going to say who it was, but they reached out and they're like, hey, I've got an interview coming up. Have you got any time? Like, can we chat? I'm like, absolutely. So we hopped on a call and we chatted for over an hour, and I helped them kind of see things from a company's perspective and how to sort of research things and go figure out who your interviewer is going to be. And they're like, oh my gosh, this was amazing. And they went into that interview and they crushed it. I haven't heard back since then, but they said the interview went really, really, really well. But those are all happening like offline, and it's not like I can bring that person on my stream and say like, hey, let's talk about this with everybody else. And like, you know, because it was meant to be a one-on-one kind of consultative sort of thing. I did it for free, gave them my time for free, because that's why I stream. I do it for free, right? Mock interviews, yes, are paid because you're getting my undivided attention. And most of the time it's people I don't know. And if I do happen to know who the person is, I usually refund them. But that said, I've been enjoying live streaming, but it's a chunk of time, it's a chunk of involvement and going back and doing research and stuff like that. And there just isn't the need for it. And so it kind of put me in a little bit of an identity crisis as a streamer of like, what else is there? You know, I'm not a gamer, so I'm not going to be on here like playing games. You know, I could stream about the 3D printing and the airbrushing stuff again, but that's really hard to do with the painting. I've explained a couple of times, like I'd be in the middle of airbrushing and someone would ask a question and I'd want to pause what I'm doing with the airbrush and help them out, and then all the paints, you know, dried out in the airbrush, and then I have to clean it all. So I've been trying to figure out like what is worth streaming. You know, the live coding is fun. You know, setting stuff up on Streamer.bot's pretty fun. But that's also not really like a full-time kind of stream. Now, when I say full-time, I don't mean like I'm a full-time streamer, but to be on Twitch for like 2 or 3 hours at a time, just live coding what I'm doing with Streamer.bot, I mean, it doesn't really sound that interesting. I do have a number of other projects on the go. And I was initially thinking, well, I'll just live stream like when I'm coding on those things. But again, those tend to happen more really late at night after I'm done with the stream and after I'm done with mock interviews. It's like 11 o'clock my time here in Denver, which means there's nobody around. Like nobody's watching live coding that late at night. And so some of it is just the economics of like when and where is the audience going to be. And the audience just isn't on Twitch. So I had the idea of like, you know what? I'm just going to switch to YouTube and I'm just going to stream on YouTube. Right now, I have exactly 0 people watching me on YouTube. So I'm also struggling a little bit with like, what day, what time do I stream on YouTube to also gain viewers, followers, whatever. And it's not about the ad monetization or anything like that. I just want to be there for people when they need help. Part of me is wondering whether I should set something up like, hey, if you have a career question, let's schedule a time and I'm going to live stream our conversation. But a lot of people don't want to do that. They don't want to be vulnerable. They don't want to sound like an interviewee. And I've done a couple of live streams like that. There was a guy that I did that with a couple of years ago. His name is Taylor Dorset. And we did 2 streams together and we live streamed it where I gave him a leak code challenge and we kind of talked through it. Then we did another one just on general career prep. And that was kind of fun, but he agreed to that ahead of time. And in the past, you know, like pretty much every other stream, I think I was literally like every other stream I was doing, I had a guest on the stream, or at least once a week. I think I was streaming 3 times a week at that point. And I was trying to figure out, you know, how do I get other people's stories out there too? And one thing that kind of has stuck with me for a number of years is a guy who led a business where I worked. He said, the last thing that the world needs is another white guy with a podcast. Because there are a lot of white guys out there with podcasts. Not that that's entirely a bad thing, but there's a lot of opinions out there and a lot of people who aren't very nice people out there, you know, trying to share opinions and whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. That's a whole other soapbox kind of thing. But trying to figure out like when and where do I stream and how long and how frequently, those questions have often come up. And I've wondered, like, do I do like a morning stream? Like do it in the morning as I'm having my coffee, like just do a quick like half hour, 45-minute stream, like, hey, drop by if you got a question kind of thing. But again, that requires like a ton of social media presence that I haven't got the energy for, honestly. And I've debated, like I could set up automations around all that stuff and just auto post to all the platforms and just put things out there like, hey, I'm going live, I'm live streaming. But yeah, so I've been struggling with some of this stuff. I need to go back and read chat. I'll go back and read chat here in a minute. But I've really struggled with trying to find the best way to help people out. Because again, it's not about ego. It's not about, you know, here's Ian, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, I've never been a spotlight kind of guy. I don't care about the kudos. None of that is the intrinsic sort of value that I put on why I want to help people. So I had a weird flood of things kind of hit my brain recently of a student of mine who actually passed away. Anyway, that's a whole other story. I'm not gonna bring that level of depression into things, but yeah, trying to find kind of the best place and time and way to help people is tough. And I'm just going to sit here on stream and go, I'm just going to sit here until one of you asks me a question and just stare at the camera and like wait for somebody to ask me a question. Like that would be entirely ego. And that's not what I have any interest in doing. Yeah, Dung. So let me follow up on chat. So Dungspren was asking, if I stream on YouTube, can I still post notification on Discord? Absolutely. Yeah, I can still make that happen in Streamer.bot. Let me scroll back a bit and I'll kind of come back through. So the reason that I've got this panel up on the screen, again, if you're on desktop Twitch, please do this. Click on your profile, find settings, open it in a new tab. So you can right click on it and say, open in a new tab. You want to go to security and privacy, scroll all the way to the bottom and turn this crap off. Twitch is auto opting in everybody to AI scanning and scraping of everything you do on Twitch, whether or not you're a streamer. Everything you do on Twitch is going to feed into Amazon's generative AI. And there's been a lot of speculation, like, is that going to be our likeness? Is that going to be our chat messages? Is that going to be our videos on demand? Is that going to be our interactions? Is that going to be how we use Twitch? Is that our payment information? Could be all of the above, because they don't really talk a lot about like which data they're going to be doing. I mean, there's a learn more. I haven't bothered reading it because honestly, I came in and I shut this off. So yeah, so Twitch kind of sucks. I'm like scrolling back in chat. All right, so Lapto was saying AI is one of the reasons I've been looking for ways to escape IT altogether. I've heard that from a lot of people. I've heard from a lot of folks, like, I just want to be done with IT, programming, tech in general. Just, I'm done. At the same time, at this point, I think there's not going to be an easy way to go away from it. I think we're going to have some element of AI no matter what. Like, even if the government cracked down and said, you know what, no more AI. All right, well, I've got a bunch of it sitting here on my computer that they can't access. So I'm still going to be able to do AI, even if they don't want like the big companies to do AI anymore, or they want like some kill switch or whatever. They can't stop my AI from running. And it's both a good thing and a bad thing for things like frontier models and open weight models or open source models, is that you can download these things yourself and run them yourself, and there's nothing they can do about it. So anyway, so yes, leaving IT is a big motivation for a lot of people because of AI. At the same time, I don't think at this point AI is going to go anywhere. I think we're going to have some amount of AI no matter what we do. And it's not a, hey, put up with it, deal with it kind of thing. I think it's just, we're going to have to learn how to live in a new world where we have AI to help us with stuff. And knowing how and when to use it responsibly is going to be the important thing in life. And that's what I see a lot of these big companies not doing. And a lot of them are misusing. And so it's tough. It's tough from an environmental point of view, from an economics point of view. There are a lot of bad things about AI, but there's also a lot of good things about AI. It definitely speeds up the work that I do. And I'm building tools to help other people do their job faster, so then they can take on more things. And it's wonderful. It's amazing that we can do that. You know, we can make ourselves more proficient at our job if we stay in IT. But I do know a handful of folks who are just, they're completely done with IT. They're like, get me out, literally find me any other kind of job. A lot of folks going back to school and things like that. So we'll see. Caretaker was saying the concerning part is how long Amazon's been training the AI on Twitch content before they added this option to opt out. This is a very good point. In Twitch's patch notes stream, he dodged the question by pointing out third-party AI were probably already training on our content. Yeah, fair. This is true. But the fact that as a company, they're just like, we're going to opt you in. Not like, hey, you know, we're looking for another avenue to like, you know, get money from Amazon, because Twitch is owned by Amazon. And as I understand it, business units like Twitch still have an Amazon bill to pay, even though they're part of Amazon. There's still like internal like budgetary needs and so on, as far as like the amount of compute and that's why they run ads, because they have to make that money to pay their own Amazon bill, basically. And I'm wondering if feeding all this stuff into AI at Amazon is giving them some sort of discount on their own Amazon services and whatnot. But the fact that they would opt everybody in by default just left a really bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. So go into your settings, shut this off. Please, for the sake of all of us. Yeah. Going back to Lopta, printed too many copies for a job fair, brought them all back home. I'm assuming these were resumes. Sadly, I print them double-sided, so I can't even use them for scrap paper. I gotcha. Trying hard not to be retired. Thought about streaming and emulated microvacs. Interesting. Not sure there's much audience for that. I mean, there's an audience for like retro hardware for sure. Whether microvacs would count as like retro hardware, I'm not sure. But I've seen a lot of people find like old Commodore 64s and Atari systems and like original Nintendos, and you know, they get on those and like do their gaming and whatever with that. So, and yeah, for the Riker treats, I bought a whole new package. I was really tired of the other ones, so Riker gets some much more tastier treats. He's upstairs sleeping on the couch at the moment, though. Yeah, he's not down here. But as soon as he comes down, I'll give him that treat, Lopta. So thank you for the redemption. Sorry to hear about your student. Yeah, so this student, he was like at the top of his class, and he reached out, and he was dealing with a lot of imposter syndrome. And because he was applying for jobs and not getting picked. And he ended up with really bad depression about it. And he's like, I need help. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm applying, I'm interviewing, and I'm just not getting picked. And I'm like, well, let's sit down, let's chat, let's figure out, like, let's do some mock interviews, figure out where you need help. And I didn't hear from him. And I found out like a week later he had taken his life. And there's nothing I could have done, but I kind of spiraled into my own kind of depression of like, oh, I could have chased him down. I could have asked him if he wanted help. And honestly, that was a lot of the motivation for doing something like a live stream, where it's like, if you need help, come to the live stream. Like, I'll help you. I'll answer as many questions as you have. Come to the live stream. You want a resume review? I'll do it for free on the live stream. Like, just come to the live stream. I will help anybody and everybody. Like, if there's literally anything I can say or do to help people out, like, that's my reason for being here. And honestly, the first couple of years of streaming was pretty strong. But I've noticed since like the whole AI, kind of the rise of AI, while I was taking my break from streaming, like there just aren't that many people asking for help anymore. Now that said, there's a resume review guy that I watch from time to time on Twitch, but he's pretty toxic with people about his resume reviews. Tells them their resumes are garbage and no, you're not doing it right, and you have to follow like here's my template, you have to use my template. And like the number one thing he'll tell people when like about telling them that their resume is bad is you're not following my format, so your resume is garbage. Now there are some good things that he does tell people about building out resumes and how to do keywords and things like that are good points, but he's a generalist recruiter. He's not recruiting just for the tech industry. And so he doesn't understand technology the way that we do as programmers. And so some of the advice that he gives is a little bit conflicting, where he'll say like, oh, don't explain this or that. Like, don't put too much technical information in there because as a recruiter, I'm just going to skip it and ignore it and your resume sucks. It's like, yeah, but the hiring manager needs to see that kind of stuff because the hiring manager is going to care. And if you're writing your resume too high level, then it doesn't sound like you really have the depth of knowledge that they may pass on your resume. So even if you get through that initial screen, you're not going to get the screen from the hiring manager. So, but he streams during the week. He streams for like a couple of hours, 3 times a week, and he does it to supplement his income. And I don't need to stream to supplement my income, but I also can't stream for several hours during the day, during the workday. Plus I travel for work, and so it's just very disruptive. So getting back to chat. RC says, pretty sure AI will always exist. The question will be what makes LLMs and their extreme resource usage be old and get replaced. The bigger question, when will opt-in and ethical data collection be legally required? Yeah. I mean, they've tried making laws about some of this stuff, but yeah, and RC Maniac is also saying it's been getting fed into Amazon AI for a while. It's just now that they've allowed us to opt out. Yeah, which is weird to hear as well. Brian and Bottles hanging out in chat. Brian got the new beanie in the mail, so thank you for that. I want a giveaway over on Brian's stream, so go give Brian a follow if you would. If we can give Brian a shout out, I think the shout out thing will work. Let me see if it'll. Brian and Bottles. See if that'll queue up. Been having weird problems with the shout out system on Streamer.bot, so I'll just manually do it here. Brian and Bottles. But yeah, go give Brian a follow. He's got a pretty genuinely interesting feed, or stream. Does a lot of gaming. Does really cool things like read these ridiculous like fairy tale books, like super creepy fairy tale books. And yeah, Tukes on Tukes now. Yeah. So the first one that I got was like bright yellow with the red Brian and Bottles logo on there. So yeah. And then I won the giveaway. So I'm like, I'm gonna get one in gray. So yeah. Thanks for being a great streamer, Brian. I also love dropping gift subs in his channel because he drinks these little vials of just mixed liquids that his family will put together. And sometimes he'll take a drink and be like, that's just straight vodka. Or it'll be like sports drink, or it'll be like pickle brine juice or whatever. So I'm just like, let me drop a 10 bomb and, he can just chug a bunch of them back to back. One of these days, Brian, I'm just going to have you pour everything into like one big cup and like drink the whole thing all at once. I'll come in and drop a 25 bomb on you sometime and just watch you like dump everything into a single giant cup and chug the whole thing or something. although shots for subs is discouraged on Twitch, so he doesn't he doesn't do it for that aspect whatsoever. But there are a few back-to-back hot pepper Brian. That's right. Yeah, good times. RC says, I don't hear people ask for help with resumes. I hear people complain and comment on how hard and impossible it is to find a job. It's when you provide feedback there that people respond, but getting them to funnel into a resume review spot to try to improve their chances is a lot harder. Yeah, exactly. And so that's what I've been really struggling with is like, I want to help people out, but people are not looking to a live stream for that kind of help. I think a lot of folks are looking for more asynchronous type of help. But, I mean, my mock interview history would beg otherwise. Like, people are actually willing to pay for one-on-one time to get coaching. So, there's a balance to strike in there somewhere. But yeah, this thing with Twitch with, opting everybody in by default or whatever, I'm just like, I'm done with Twitch. So, yeah, anyway. RC says, I was catching some Mythical Kitchen. They were consuming stuff from a health food store. And they're like, what is this? Lopta says, it's difficult to even find jobs to apply for. I did apply for a car parts delivery job this week. Okay, gotcha. So finding jobs for like an IT role, I think a lot of folks are going to have to start to shift what they think about IT roles and like what those IT roles are actually going to be. They know zero streamers would turn it on if it wasn't auto on. Yeah, exactly, Brian. Exactly. So the fact that they've turned this on by default is like awful. There are no IT jobs here. So Lopta, this brings up an interesting thing about like, what do you consider an IT job to be anymore? In the age of AI, what is an IT job? Is it a programmer? Is it a DevOps person? Is it network support? Is it a little of all the above? Is it corporate training like I do? Is it like pure engineering kind of work? And then does it have to be in person? Like, do you want a job in person? Would you take a remote job if you could find one? There's none of any of that here. Lopta, I don't want you to like dox yourself, but give us some idea of like at least like what state you're in, maybe, or province if you're in Canada. I think that might help a little bit there. But again, like there are going to be jobs. Sometimes they're just not posted. And I think like, so some of the advice that I give to folks is like, if there's a company that you're interested in working at, and they don't have any jobs posted, just go start knocking on their door. Like start to get to know everybody at that company and just say, by the way, I'm looking for a job. These are the kinds of skills that I have. This is the kind of work that I want to be doing. And if you ever have an opening, like I want to be the first one in line, like just call me. Don't even like waste time screening thousands of resumes. You used to have skills. Yeah, and you've mentioned like you've kind of been out of it for a little while and you're trying to get back in or you're trying to stay in, but it's been hard for you. I remember that from previous chats. RC says, not to make it weird, I wonder if you go into a stream and have your bot scrape the commands and look for keywords so you get a, hey, here's someone who's talking about needing a job help. Go to where the people are. Yes, I could. RC, and the problem there is like not a lot of people want third-party streamers showing up in their chat like saying like, hey, here's advice, you know, I'll give you like a resume review on my stream. Like I've thought about doing that on this other guy's stream. I've thought about dropping in there a couple times and just say like, hey, if anybody else wants a resume review, like I also do resume reviews if you want like a second opinion on these things. But that's a quick way to get banned for sure. It's not just bad ethics, it's a good way to get banned. And I don't want to like try to circumvent bans, and I don't want to make that kind of reputation for myself. That said, you know, the chat that I had last weekend with this other streamer that had a job interview like it was a week ago that I had this chat. They had an interview early last week that they said went really well. I only got to know them because they were in someone else's stream. And so both of us were in a third person's stream. And that's kind of how we've met and interacted and whatever. And then they reached out on Discord. And so, yes, I can like go hustle and like go chase those people down. But again, I'd rather do it as a live stream. Like I can give out that coaching advice one-on-one all day long. But the point of streaming is I can tell a whole bunch of people at the same time. You know, or make the videos or make the podcast audio and just put it out there for a whole bunch of people to listen to. Like even the podcast audio that I did back in 2022, 2023 is still getting like 400 or 500 listens a month. Ian's too much of a stand-up dude to go self-promo. I mean, I've never been good at marketing. I mean, that's part of my problem. And part of it is I just haven't got the energy to like keep posting on socials all the time. Part of me wants to just come up with like little mini scripts and just record a whole bunch of little YouTube shorts and just kind of like send those out from time to time and then see whether a live stream would kick in. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I really don't. Yeah. I'm just going to catch up here on chat a little bit. Even the hardcore clanker butt liquor people wouldn't toggle it on if they had to do it manually. Yeah, fair enough, Brian. Yeah, the fact that they opted everybody in, I think, is really lousy as a company. I can tell some stories about my team's current job search and all that stuff happening in your own company. Yeah. I see it as a many know you do resume help, but they don't see you much. So at least getting a, hey, if you're lurking, here's a place you can chime in. Yeah, fair enough. But also the other streams that I tend to hang out in are other live coders, occasional 3D print people, or just variety streamers. And most variety streamers aren't looking for job people. Like the people in their chat generally aren't talking about needing jobs or job interviews or things like that. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know. RC says, I was watching a food history video about the Concorde. Someone had a good comment that the Concorde is a case where marketing failed engineering. Yeah, for sure. Market fit strikes again. Yeah. AC Films, good to see you. I'm doing okay. Hope you're doing well. We're just chatting a little bit about, you know, kind of the ethics of AI and all the stuff that Twitch did. So C-Films, if you haven't already seen this, you want to go into your profile, go to security and privacy, scroll all the way to the bottom and turn this setting off. Twitch has opted everybody into generative AI. They're going to take everything you do on Twitch, whether you're streaming or not, and feed it over to Amazon's generative AI. So go turn that crap off. BRB, I can dump some stories of work hiring. Sure. Sounds good. We should go put you on the interview team for Millpurse. Oh, trying to transfer my team. I mean, I'd be happy to, Brian, honestly, if there's a way that I can do like a Zoom call or something, 100% I would do that. No, if it's military personnel, I would 100% do that for free. Seriously. Like, let's chat on Discord or Insta and like set that up. I will 100% give your crew like free advice. Like, let's do like a once a month Zoom call or something like that. And if they want additional coaching outside of that, then we can chat. But for large groups, I mean, I've been doing large group career help with code schools across Canada and the US for a number of years. I would 100% do that for free. If you can't afford free, there's an issue. Now, that said, I only speak English, so if they're looking for bilingual, I'm not the guy. But I would 100% help them out. So yeah, all this stuff with stuff going on Twitch and stuff like that, I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm done streaming on Twitch. I still want to like chat with folks, so I still hope to see all of you in other people's streams and stuff like that. More than happy to stay in touch with everybody, so by all means, reach out on Discord and stuff like that. I do have my own Discord. It's really, really small. Not a lot of folks there, but if you join there, you can get my username or whatever, and we can just stay in contact on Twitch or on Discord. And if there's other channels where you hang out on Twitch, let me know. Send me a message and say, hey, I'm on these other streams. I'm always down to like hear new musicians and hear new like people like playing occasional games and stuff like that. I'm not really into the horror games, so usually if somebody's streaming like those horror games, I usually like tune those off and go somewhere else. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of other people do live code. There were a couple of folks that came by here, like Karen Chow was hanging out in chat, and through her chat, someone else, I forget his name, and I don't want to mess it up. Let me go look it up. Where are you? I've got you in my list somewhere. People that I follow, fighting. He's got a stream where he does tons of stuff with Streamer.bot programming as well. And I love hanging out on those kinds of streams. I love seeing the innovation that other people have. So, like I said, I'm not leaving Twitch as a user, but I'm probably just not going to stream anymore. And so, please, if you're subscribed to my channel, go ahead and cancel those subscriptions. And folks like Brian, if you see me in your chat, you don't have to give me shout outs anymore. You don't have to worry about that. I'll just be there to lurk and hang out. Yeah, Brian, let's chat about that, because I'm happy to help reach out to them and say like, hey, I know Brian, and I'm happy to help out if folks need career help, get back into like civilian life, stuff like that. I'm happy to work with you on making that happen. So, oh, I fixed the Connect 4 game, I think. I haven't actually tried it since I fixed it. So I thought maybe we could try a quick game of Connect 4. We'll do normal mode. So this is an AI-driven Connect 4 game. So go ahead and type !join if you want to play. It'll basically be us versus AI. Took some feedback from everybody about how to sort of signal which column we want to like drop a token into, stuff like that. Hey, Zapper, good to see you. So go ahead and hit join. Fake points to win if we win. But yeah, we'll do a quick couple of games maybe. And basically, it's going to be us versus AI. I think I've fixed the double drop problem that we had a couple of weeks ago when I kind of showed this off the first time, where we would pick a column and it was dropping 2 tokens in that column instead of 1, and then sometimes the AI would also drop a second token, and sometimes it was keeping track and sometimes not. It was weird. Anyway, I do need to fix the timer. The timer is still off by 10 seconds, so we'll figure that out. There's still a few seconds left to join if anybody else wants to join. And then basically you'll just type in number. So only those who joined, it will watch. But go ahead and type in a column from 1 to 7. Oh, it didn't update the code. I told it to put the number underneath the column and instead of like the white font on yellow circle. Maybe I didn't update the code. I thought I told it to update the code. And then whichever column gets the most votes, it'll drop a token in that column for us. And then the AI is going to take a turn. Oh, double thing is still there. Okay. So let me stop the game. Oops. It will help if I spell it correctly. Game connect for end. There we go. Let me go just repatch the code because I thought it had fixed all of that. And then we'll give it another try. Nope, that's not the right one. I want my Streamer.bot code. All right. So for the AI move, I'm just going to go in and like batch update a bunch of code here. Oops. Oh, it didn't clear the game. One sec. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to go in and patch this code with the latest copy that I had. And we'll see if that helps. Compile, save and compile. And then the game setup. There we go. So that one's good. Game tick. I'm just replacing all the code, and then we'll go in. We'll try another game. I don't think there was a problem with player join because those parts all seem to work okay. And then the voting. So the vote system is basically if multiple people vote for the same thing, where and how is all that going to show up? Okay, let's try another game. All right, let's try this again. Let's go ahead and do join again if you want to try this out, and we'll see whether this works. If not, it's cool. We'll skip it. I briefly had one viewer on YouTube. That was you subscribing? Yeah, you don't need to oh, that was on YouTube. I gotcha. I was gonna say don't subscribe to my channel here on Twitch. So again, if you are subscribed to my channel here on Twitch, go ahead and cancel that subscription. All right, so we're almost ready to go here. Oh, of course we have ads coming up. I'm gonna snooze the ads so we can try this game, see if it'll fix it. All right, so go ahead and pick a column. No, it still didn't move where the number was supposed to be. I'm wondering whether the JavaScript actually updated or not. We'll see if this will fix the double drop at least. All right, so we got 2 votes each, which means it's going to ask us for a tiebreaker. Now, you can change your mind. You can put in some other column if you want. Like I could type 5 and it'll move my vote over to 5. So now it's asking for a tiebreaker. So 3 or 4. So type a 3 or a 4 and we'll drop in that column. All right. Oh, here comes the sleepy puppy. Somebody offered you a treat. Okay, so the double thing is fixed. Oh. All right, Riker says thank you for the treat. All right, so let's do 4. No, just 1. It's funny now because now whenever I'm on the microphone and I turn the lights on, he wants to come by and like, you know, be on the camera for a minute. I think he likes looking at himself on the big TV. But now it's got me wondering if he's coming by looking for treats. Oh, so the double drop thing still happened. All right. Well, let's see if we can finish up the game and beat AI at least. It's probably going to go in column 4 and try a diagonal line. So we'll have to be careful about stacking up column 5. Otherwise, AI is going to win. We can't let the AI win. Oh, we're going to have another tiebreaker. All right, looks like. So, technically, we've won. All right, I'm not sure why that's happening. So, I went through to try to figure out the logic of like why that was happening, and apparently I didn't fix it. So, good job, everybody. Yeah. It's pretty bad when we have to cheat to beat AI though. So anyway, we'll get that sorted at some point. And I'm waiting on a new emote to get approved. Let me pull this up here and show you. So I have a new dad joke emote that I'm trying to get approved. And I'll probably replace like one of these other ones with it. Maybe the thanks friend. I'll probably move the dad joke one in there so everybody can use that for free. And then we'll use that for spreading the love and like, yeah, 1 Connect 4 in 3 moves. I know. It's an impressive amount of skill to win Connect 4 in only 3 moves. Well, actually, was it 3 moves? It was 1, 2, 3. No, it was 4 moves. We won in 4 moves, but 2 of the moves were double drops. It's funny when I glance over this way, I see my one of my kids playing Minecraft, and it got me thinking, like, do I want to play Minecraft on Twitch? Like, do I want to do some kind of gaming? And I'm just really bad at those games. So, probably no. Dropped 1, then 2, then 2. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. That was... Yeah, that's right. No. We dropped 1 and then 2, and then we did 2 in the next column over, and then we stacked up on that one. I'm pretty sure it was 4. Pretty sure it was 4 rounds, wasn't it? So we joined. We had 30 seconds. So round 1, round 2, round 3. No, we did win after 3. Yeah. Anyway, I'll go back and try to figure all that stuff out. Yeah, our chat's so good. That would be the social media post, right? Our community is so smart. We can win Connect 4 in 3 moves. Feel free to borrow that one and post it on socials. No, I don't have another game running right now, C-Films. I'll have to go back and analyze the code and see what's going on with that. I thought I had fixed it. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the dad joke one to get approved. Once it gets approved, you'll see me adding it around. I'm sure it'll be ready for Thursday's stream just in time to stop streaming on Twitch, but at least it'll be there for everybody else. So if you follow me on Twitch, then you can still use it for free on other people's streams. I'll probably move some of the other... Actually, let's talk about some of those logistics. So if I'm not going to stream on Twitch, which of my emotes should I add here as a follower? So if you follow me on Twitch at least, you can still use these emotes. Because I got a lot of them. Because we can start moving those around if there are any of these emotes that everybody wants to use for free. Thursday is going to be my last Twitch stream, yeah. Now, it doesn't mean I'm never, ever, ever going to stream on Twitch ever again. I may do an occasional stream, but it's going to be my last regular stream on Twitch. I'm just going to stream on YouTube going forward. I was thinking about moving the Deadpool chibi up to the free one. But yeah, if anybody else wants to look through any of these and see, like I've got the hello there. Like I can move any of these up into these 5 spots for free. And then you just have to follow my channel and you'll have access to those 5 at least. I think the Scream one would be good to stick around. I might do the Deadpool one. I think I'm definitely going to do the Deadpool chibi. I think instead of the Deadpool heart, I think I might swap these because I like using this one, but I don't know if anybody else is going to use this on someone else's stream, but happy to move any of these other ones around. So if you see any here that you'd like to use kind of going forward, I can move them into the standard emotes. All right, we got ads in 30 seconds because yay, ads. Can't do anything about them. Actually, that's one thing I need to look at with Streamer.bot. Does Streamer.bot tell me when YouTube is about to show an ad? Or does YouTube show ads on live streams? I don't know. I need to look into that. Anyway, we'll see everybody back in about 5 seconds. All right, so YouTube shows ads on live streams if the channel is monetized and the creator or YouTube has ad playback turned on. So I'm not monetized, so you'll get free, ad-free viewing on YouTube as I'm live streaming over there. All right, we got ads for about another minute. All right, welcome back from ads. As I yawn, my message when ads finish didn't work. Oh, because if I snooze ads, Streamer.bot doesn't know that I've snoozed the ad. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. What were we talking about before ads? I forget now. Oh, we were talking about emotes. So yeah. Which of these emotes should we move over for everybody to use for free? I think we'll take Deadpool Heart out of there. I'm gonna move Deadpool Heart to be tier 1. I'm gonna move Chibi into that free spot. It'll be available to followers. Move the dad joke one over there once it's approved. So once that's approved, we'll all have access to the dad joke one. What else should I move over to the free one? Oops. Where did the lit one go? So I'm going to keep said panda. We'll do tier 1. Oh, tier 1's full. I don't know. Should I do the Deadpool lying down? I mean, I only have 5 slots. I kind of want to keep the dad joke one in there in case anybody else wants a dad joke. I don't know. Which emote should we keep on the free channel? Any opinions? No takers on emotes. I think I'm gonna move You Got This. Move that one over for free. I don't know. Yeah, that's probably good though. So I'll have access to these other ones because I like dropping into people's chat channels and using emotes and stuff like that. That way, all of you will have access to these ones at least. I think the Scream one will be a good one to keep. That's going to be more useful as the days go on. Wish they were a little faster at allowing the emotes to go through. Because yeah, it's definitely not approved yet. I get they probably need human eyeballs on it to make sure it's not like something obscene. But hey, with all that generative AI they have access to, you'd think they'd have a faster way of screening these emotes now. All right, well, welcome in to everybody else who's hanging out and joining us tonight. Let's switch back over to here. Alrighty. Wheel. Just looking through some other channels here, see what else is going on tonight. Alright. Cool. Let's we're gonna raid over to Team Bash. We'll see everybody on Thursday. Might do I need to see what my day is gonna be like Friday. If I don't have anything going on Friday morning, maybe we'll do some ridiculous like hot sauce challenges or something to close out the Twitch streams. Oh, here you're doing a whole write-up of job stuff. I mean, write faster, RC. You'll text me. All right, sounds good. Cool. We're gonna head over to Team Bash, doing some game development. Looks like they're testing out some MMO stuff. I've been kind of on and off her stream for a long time. So yeah, we'll go hang out over there. We'll say hi. Please be respectful over there. You're not a fast typer. It's all good. Should use the voice prompting stuff. You can do speech to text way faster now. It would probably even understand your Jersey accent. So, goodness no. All right. Well, we'll catch everybody over there. If you want to grab that raid message, feel free to do that. I'm going to make a copy of it here myself, and we'll catch everybody over on Bash's stream, and we'll see everybody on Thursday. Good night.